Good morning, high schoolers. Today is Thursday, November 19th. Today we will mainly do N2Y on here. We have money already added on here. And for CK12, we will do our Earth, Space, and Science. So I'm going to go through this with you today. You have your word study, your chapter reading, okay, and you will do your comprehension questions this way. People in the Greece theater had, and you will fill out, you will pick from here what they had. 1 through 5 for your comprehension questions. Standards connection starts with your beginning, middle, and end. Remember, you can click right up here to see chapter, and it'll open you up a new tab. That way you're not clicking back and forth between home and typing in those questions for your box for completing that. Okay, for journal writing, everyone's may look a little different. If yours is blank, let me know, but you would just be completing what this looks like. So if you need to pause this on your video, go ahead and pause this. And like I said, if yours just has a bunch of lines on it, you will be typing in these answers. So on your very first line, you will type in the ancient Greeks made one of the first theaters. And we need a period there. Theaters have a stage, benches, outdoor seating, good sound, soft seats, and lights. So you would pick whatever one applies that you would want to do. Theaters have, we'll say, a stage.
A stage.
Okay, so you would type that then on the line if your journal does not look like this. In theaters today, people see plays, concerts, movies, musicals, storytellers, or orchestras. Well, it could be any of these. So you pick whichever one you would like to pick. In theaters today, people see, let's say, movies.
Movies.
And of course, make sure you have periods at the end of these sentences. Going to the theaters is, and you pick what you feel like if you were to go to a theater. So I'm going to put is fun, and then put my period. Okay, so like I said, if you need to pause this, pause it if yours does not look like this, and you will type in these direct sentences. That is our journal writing. Okay, for algebra, I'm going to work some of these out with you. I know we did some of these before we left to do virtual. So when I talk about writing the expressions are used with letters instead of numbers. And sometimes we don't know. It's called the unknown variable. So the next slide here will talk about the unknown variable. And when we talk about adding, so we're going to do adding and subtracting in these next two boxes. So when we talk about adding, we look for these words called, I call them clue words. And we would look for how many all together. So when we see all together, we know that we are going to be adding. So here is our first example. Mary Beth and Keisha are selling tickets at the museum. A is Mary Beth and B is Keisha. So A, Mary Beth sells 7 tickets. So we know A here. I'm going to use A and A. So we know A and A is 7. So our answer is going to be 7 here. And then we have B for Keisha. So B and B is Keisha. And she sells B tickets. We don't know how many she sells. So we're going to put B, which is the unknown variable. Unknown. B is unknown. But we're trying to know how many tickets they sell. What? All together. All together. So we know we're going to add. Okay. A is going to stay the same. So A is 7. Then we have here that Keisha sells 6 tickets. So we know how many she sells now, which is 6. And then we have 7 plus 6, which should be 13. I will pull up my online calculator. You can do this as well. So we had 6 plus 7, which is 13. So our answer here is 13. Okay. All right, I'll help you set up this next one here because this is the last one. So I'm going to let you do this on your own. I'll get it set up for you and then you can complete it. So we have Mary Beth and Keisha are counting paintings at the museum. Mary Beth is A, and she sells A paintings. We don't know A. A is a question. It's a question mark. We don't know it. So A is going to be A. So you would put an A right here. Okay. For Keisha, B is 12. 12. So we're going to put 12 here. And then it says, write an expression for the number of paintings they count all together. All together, meaning we are going to add. Okay. So A is A because we don't know it. It's a question. We don't know what Mary Beth has counted, but we know Keisha has counted 12. Then we find out here that Mary Beth counts 17 paintings. So now we can put 17 here. B stays the same with 12. So then you would just add 17 plus 12, and that would be your answer. 17 plus 12 will be your answer here. And that answer will go right here. Okay?
I am working.
Our next box should be subtraction. Yes, okay. So again, we are writing expressions. This time we're doing subtraction. So when we look at subtraction expressions, we look for the words, how many are left, how many more than, or how many less than. So those are all our clues for subtracting. We know we will subtract when we hear these words here. So again, I'll do this one with you, and then the next one you will do on your own. So Randy is handing out maps at the museum. Randy is A is Randy, and he has 24 maps to hand out. Okay, so I know 24 is A. And then B, he handed out B map so far. So we don't know B. B is unknown. B is unknown. So we put B in here. Then we find out that we are going to have to subtract here because it says he has left. How many does he have left? So we know then that we are going to be subtracting. Randy has handed out 16 maps. Okay, now we know that he has handed out how many? So then B would be now 16. A stays the same with 24. And then we would add. And then our answer should be 40. Let's do 20. Oh, we're subtracting now. 24 minus 16. Our answer is 8. Okay, next one. I'll walk it through and then you will complete it. So Rahad is folding pamphlets about the items at the museum. Rahad has A pamphlets, so we do not know A. A is unknown. We do not know it. So this answer here is going to be A. But we know he folded already 6 pamphlets. So B is going to be 6. So you would put 6 here. It says write an expression for the number of pamphlets he has left to fold. Left to fold, meaning we are going to subtract. And then we find out that Rahad has 22 pamphlets to fold. So A now is 22. B stays the same with 6. And then you would subtract 22 minus 6. 22 minus 6.
There's more data.
Okay, here we're adding for the unknown here to get an answer. So it says A and B are known numbers, but C is going to be our unknown. Again, when we add, we have how many all together, and we know we are going to be adding. So I'll do this one with you. You follow along with what the variable here is telling us to do. Okay, so I'll start with Mary Beth. Mary Beth is A. Mary Beth is A. Mary Beth learns about 8 statues. So Mary Beth and Keisha are learning about statues at the museum. Mary Beth learns about 8 statues. So we know Mary Beth learned about 8. B, Keisha learns about 4 statues. Yes, it is Austin's birthday. Sorry, I got distracted because my calendar popped up. Yours should also pop up because you put it in your calendar when we did our November calendar. Austin is 16 today, so happy birthday to Austin. It is on my Facebook page as well, so happy birthday to Austin. Here you go, Austin. Happy birthday. All right, let me exit back out of that. Ooh. Okay, so back to A. A is 8. Then we learned B. Keisha had 4 statues, so B is Keisha with 4. And C, how many statues did they learn about all together? All together, we know we are adding. And do we know how many they have all together? No, so C is going to be C. All right, next step, we're going to solve the equation for C. So what is 8 plus 4? So I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So A plus B is 12 equals C. C is C. We don't know C yet. Okay, so we're going to check our work. Fill in the numbers for A, B, and C, and then solve. So A was 8, B was 4, C is C. Oh wait, it's asking us to solve now. And we said 8 plus 4 was 12. So 12, is that equal? Does 12 equal 12? Yes.
Yes.
So since C is 12, they learned about 12 statues altogether. Okay, again, I'll set this one up with you and you will complete it on your own because there's none left to do. Mario and Rahad reserve museum tickets for their trip to the museum. Mario receives 7 museum tickets. So A is Mario with 7 museum tickets. So A is 7. B is Rahad with 8 museum tickets. So B is going to be 8. How many did they reserve all together? So we know we're adding. And C we don't know, so C is C. Then you will add 7 plus 8. So 7 plus 8 will then get you your answer here. We still don't know C. Then after that, you're going to check your work. So we're going to just put 7 in for here, 8 for here, solve. So what was 7 plus 8? Whatever 7 plus 8 equals is going to go here. And then you'll see that hopefully when you check your answer that they will be correct and equal the same number.
I am working.
Okay, again, solving for the unknown variable of C. Again, we're subtracting here, looking for our keywords, how many are left, how many more than, and how many less than. Again, I'll do this first one with you. I'll set the second one up for you to do on your own. Randy is reading pamphlets to learn about the exhibits at the museum. Randy has 7 pamphlets. So A is going to be Randy. And we know Randy has 11. He also reads 7 pamphlets. So B is going to be 7. And then how many pamphlets are left to read? Are left. So we know we're going to subtract when we see the clue are left. And C was unknown. Then we have 11 minus 7. And for this, I'm going to count up. So I'm going to start with 7 and I'm going to count up to 11. And that would be my answer. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I counted up 4. C is still unknown. Now we're going to check our work. A was 11. B was 7. And then we solved. 11 minus 7 was 4. So does 4 equal 4? Yes, it does. And since C was 4, there are 4 pamphlets left to read. Mario and Rahad are handing out maps at the museum. Mario hands out 22. So we know A is 22. So you'll put 22 here. B is Rahad, which he passes out 5 maps. And then it asks for Mario hands out C more than Rahad. How many more maps? So how many more maps? We're trying to find the difference between how many they handed out. Who handed out more? The difference between 5 and 22. We do not know C because we're trying to figure that out. And then you'll solve next. So what was 22 minus 5? And that will be your answer here. C is C. And then you'll check your work. So plug those answers back in. So 22 and 5. And whatever you got here will be your answer for here. And then hopefully this will equal this. You'll have yes. And then plug in those answers there.
There's more to do.
Okay, so here is another subtraction one. I'm gonna have you skip this box. I'll go back and delete it. So I'm gonna take a picture of that quick so I can go and delete that box. Algebra 2.5. You do not have to do algebra 2.5. I'm gonna go and delete it for you. Okay. All right, measure it. So yesterday you put the hot chocolate, Mayan hot chocolate, in order of how you would make it. Today it's going over exactly the recipe. So these two slides here talk about the recipe and how to make it, which you put that in order yesterday. Next, we have a comparison chart. So instead of me like pulling out a big old chart for you within the classroom, I'm just going to open a new tab for you and we're going to just Google these answers. Okay. So we're comparing ounces here, and this is the practice. So it's asking how many ounces is item 1 and how many ounces is item 2. So these are different types of items that would have ounces written on them on their label somewhere. So I'm just going to look up chicken soup. For chicken soup, how many ounces? Okay, so let's say 1 US cup of soup, chicken broth, canned, weighs 8.4. So I'm just going to highlight 8.4 ounces, okay? So I'm going to copy 8.4. I'm going to put in 8.4 here. Okay. Oh. Okay, don't do that. Don't copy and paste it. I'm sorry. Do not copy and paste it. I should have typed it in. Okay, hold on. I'm going to log out. Hopefully I'll be able to log right back in. Okay, perfect. So do not copy and paste it like I did. It messed it up. So what did we say it was? 8.4. So I'm just going to put in okay, so just type in 8.4. It saved my answer, so I'm not going to mess with that. Sorry, guys. So just type in 8.4, okay? And then I'm going to look up how many.
There's more to do. I am done.
How many ounces is number 2? So let's just say a grande coffee from Starbucks. So how many ounces is a grande? 8 ounces, okay? So 8 ounces. So I'm just going to type my answer in here, 8. Okay, this one was 8.4. I'm going to write it up here for us. Okay, so we had 8 and some left over here, and then we have just 8. So if I had a number line here, I'm going to make this 0, I'm going to make this 8, and I'm going to make this 9. And somewhere in here is in between 8 and 9, so this would be like 8.5. 8.5. So 8.5 would be like $8.50 would be right in the middle of 8 and 9. So 8.4 is really close to 8.5. So which one was heavier? Item 1 or item 2? And I hope you would say item 1. So I'm going to say item 1 was heavier. because I know that 8.4 ounces is greater than
Great.
8 ounces. Okay, so we're just comparing the ounces here, knowing which one's greater or which one is less than. Okay, then you have your money to do. So this will be your like CK12 today for your money skills. And if you are not in money skills, I still want you to do these because it will bring it into our N2Y program. And then your life skills application, I believe it's the same as yesterday. If you did not finish, go ahead and finish that. Okay. I know this video was a little longer just because I walked through each step with you for math and writing. So for CK12, you will have your, again, we're still learning about our fossils. And this time I looked up Earth history and clues for the fossils. So again, look for November 19th. You have your articles to read, your videos to watch, and then your adaptive practice for Earth, space, and science. Again, please remember our Zoom video or our Google Hangout tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I cannot wait to see everybody. Have a great day.